Oscar, did you have a good time today? I've just come back from getting a massage. I'm all ready for tomorrow's wedding now.
Yeah, I had a good time, Abby. And that's good to hear. I'm so excited to see you in your wedding dress. But I don't have much confidence in my speech. I'm so nervous.
That's okay. I think you'll be just fine. You're always so good speaking in front of a lot of people.
I hope so.
I'm nervous too, but I'm more excited. Because I'm so happy to have a wedding at my ideal venue. Thank you for making my dream come true.
Of course. I want to make all of your dreams come true. Although, I must admit I was surprised that you wanted to get married before we even moved in together.
Because it's a popular wedding venue. If we waited any longer, it was going to be booked up for 1.5 years. And I wanted to get married on the day of our first date. Nothing like making our wedding anniversary an extra special day.
Okay, I get it.
But really, thank you. I'm grateful you're marrying me, even though I was divorced and I don't have any other family. I couldn't believe that I met someone who wants to marry me again.
Divorce is very common these days. I'm sure it was hard for you, but your divorce led to us meeting each other. And don't worry about your relatives. I'll be your family from now on.
Yeah, you're right. We'll live separately for a while, but after we move in together, let's enjoy our newly married life.
Of course. We haven't found a property yet, though.
Well, we can take time to look for it. Because we've been so busy with preparing for the wedding.
Because of a certain someone.
Hey! By the way, don't oversleep tomorrow, Oscar. I'm worried about that happening. I don't want my groom to oversleep.
I know, I'll set an alarm.
I'll get there earlier than you, because it'll take me a while to get ready.
Okay.
Then, see you tomorrow.
Yeah, see you. Let's be happy together, Abby.
Yeah, I'm sure that I can be happy if I'm with you, Oscar.
Abby, you must be at the venue already, right?
That's right. What about you, Oscar? Don't tell me you just woke up.
No, I'm in front of the hotel.
That's a relief. I've been waiting for you, so I was a little worried.
Hey, there's something I want to ask you.
What is it?
When I was about to get inside, there was a little girl there. She said she wanted me to let her see her mom.
What?
Hey, Abby, you don't have a child, do you? I asked her mother's name, and she said your name. She's saying that her mother's going to have her wedding here today. Her name is Lucia.
So what if I do?
Huh?
Like I said, I am asking you, so what if I have a child?
Well, it's just weird. I had literally no idea that you had a child. I mean, I did know that you were divorced.
What are you trying to say here? You decided to marry me, right? Those feelings just disappear as soon as you find out I have a kid?
I didn't mean it like that.
Then what do you mean? If you really love me, you'll accept my daughter as well, won't you?
It really isn't that simple. If I had known from the beginning you had a daughter, that's one thing. But this situation is completely different.
No, it's the same. Just get inside and get ready. I can tell you the details after the wedding.
Do you seriously think we're going to have a wedding now?
What? You know how excited I've been for today, right? Are you going to cancel the whole thing just because I have a kid? So, you won't marry a woman with children after all?
I don't like that you lied to me. Hey, let me confirm with you again. Lucia is your child, for sure.
That's what I keep saying.
Okay. Then I'm really disappointed in you.
You see? Just like I thought. I was hiding Lucia from you because nobody wants to marry a woman who has a child. All men are the same. They run away as soon as they find that out.
That's not my point at all. I'm not disappointed in you because you have a child. I'm angry that you lied to me, but you did something even worse than that.
Huh? What did I do?
You left Lucia at your great-uncle's house because you wanted to marry me, didn't you? You ditched her there and told her to look after herself. She ran away from the house because she didn't want to live with him. She's asking me for her father's address since she wants to live with him.
Ugh. She had to go and do all this. But how did she know about here? I didn't tell anyone who would blab to Lucia.
She saw the wedding invitation you sent to your great-uncle. When she saw it, she thought you were going to abandon her. Don't you think she's too young to have to think like that? How do you treat Lucia normally for her to react in that way?
What do you know, Oscar? You have no right to tell me how to raise a kid when you've never had one. Lucia's at the age where she can do everything on her own. She can survive without me doing everything for her. She came to the hotel on her own, after all.
But she's still 7. She needs a parent to take care of her. I'll take Lucia to a dressing room for now. I'll tell the staff to cancel the wedding. Can you tell as many of our guests as you can, Abby?
Huh? I'm getting ready now.
Now's not the time for that anymore.
No! I don't want to cancel the wedding!
I don't want to either. But I can't marry a woman who ditches her own daughter. Whether you like it or not, we are not having our wedding today.
Hey! Answer my calls! We need to talk again! I will not accept this!
Sorry, I can't pick up the phone right now.
Where are you now? It's your day off today, isn't it?
It's none of your business where I am.
What's your problem? Don't you realize how much stress you're causing me? They're gossiping about my canceled wedding at my job. Everyone's looking at me so coldly all the time now. Not to mention how you broke off your engagement with me. Do you hate me just because I have a child and I left her with my great-uncle? Your love for me was that superficial?
We talked it over yesterday. Not only did you lie to me and ditch your own daughter, I can't forgive how you've been treating Lucia all this time.
She's lying to you. I was taking care of her properly before all this. I bet she's lying to you because she thinks that I left her.
It didn't look that way to me. And she said she wants to live with her dad. Apparently, you didn't let her see him for a long time.
Because that's unnecessary. You've heard all about it, Oscar. How horrible my ex-husband was. He had a drinking problem and got into tons of debt. I was really a mess too because of him. So I took Lucia with me and ran away in desperation. I protected her from his wrath, so she doesn't know how awful her father is.
I know the stories. I thought it was horrible, and I felt so angry towards him.
Right?
When I thought that was the truth, that is.
Huh?
You met your ex at your former workplace. It's what you told me before, isn't it? So, I called your former company and spoke with Robbie.
What?
I was shocked by what he told me. It was totally different from what you said. The cause of your divorce was your affair, wasn't it? Because of that, your parents cut ties with you. You said you don't have a family, but it makes sense now. You have one, but they want nothing to do with you.
Why? Why did you do that without my permission?
I didn't think I was going to break off our engagement at first either. I didn't mind that you had a child, but it was bothering me that Lucia was so desperate to live with her dad. I realized that you're not even trusted by your own 7-year-old daughter.
Are you for real? You really overthought this.
After I met Robbie and heard the truth from him, it sent shivers down my spine. Because you really are an awful human being. When you got divorced, you lied your way to get full custody, telling him it was your right as the mother. Even though he was separated from her, he kept paying child support every month and always looked forward to seeing her. But you only let him see her a few times, denying him visits most of the time. You gave him the excuse that Lucia will have a stepfather soon, so she doesn't need a father figure, right? That's weird. You didn't introduce Lucia to me or even tell me about her existence, did you?
Well, I was thinking of letting you see her one day. I just couldn't find a good timing for it. I didn't have the courage to tell you.
So, you think it was acceptable to just suddenly drop her off at your great-uncle's house? Plus, he's elderly and has dementia, doesn't he? That's not fair on him or Lucia. And when you were struggling financially, you asked Robbie to give extra money on top of Lucia's child support.
Wait, are you saying you believe Robbie over me? You're the one who's horrible, Oscar. You said we'll be happy together.
You're not exactly giving me much good reason to believe you, Abby. You hid your daughter's existence and the fact that your divorce was caused by your affair. The reason why you don't have any family around is because of the awful way you handled your marriage. And you'll abandon your child just to get married again. That's ridiculous. You're the lowest of the low.
Why? I just hid her because I love you, Oscar.
You sure are changing your story a lot. You lost your temper when I asked about Lucia, and now you're trying to tell me you did all this for me? There are so many ways I could have found out about you having Lucia. Why did you keep it a secret? It's not something you could have hidden forever.
If I registered her address to somewhere else, I thought you wouldn't find out. I thought you wouldn't know unless you really checked the details.
In that case, you could have relied on Robbie to take care of her. Wouldn't that be better for the both of you?
Well, I didn't want Robbie to take her away from me.
I don't get it. You can't take care of her on your own, but you don't want to rely on Robbie. I'm sorry, Abby, but I can't understand you at all.
Look, Oscar, I'm really sorry that I hid Lucia from you. And I feel bad for leaving Lucia at my great-uncle's house. But I was desperate for a solution. So I want to start over again, with the three of us. I think if it's with you, I can raise her properly, Oscar. Please, give me one more chance.
That is not happening. You are honestly terrifying. The way you lie so easily and how you treat your own daughter. The more I think about your behavior, the more I'm scared of you. It's been almost 2 years since we started dating, but I had no idea of Lucia's existence until a few days ago. We did spend more time at my house, but I went to your house about once a month. Just where was Lucia all those times?
Well...
Answer me. Where was she?
She was at my friend's house.
That's another lie, isn't it? I heard you made her go out. No wonder she wants to be with her dad.
Did you hear that from Lucia too? There's something wrong with you. You take all the words of a 7-year-old kid at face value, believing her over me. You're not making any sense.
You're the one who's not making any sense.
Fine. Whatever. I've had enough. You're annoying me. I only wanted you for your money anyway. If you won't put me first, I don't need you. Good for you. You didn't end up becoming my walking wallet. Just so you know, you're so ugly that you make me sick. You'll be single until you die. Lol.
Lucky me. I managed to get away from such a bad person. I managed to save Lucia as well.
What? What do you mean you saved Lucia?
You made Lucia go shopping alone earlier, didn't you? I managed to take her away with me.
Huh? What are you talking about? Are you for real?
I am. I don't think Lucia's ever going to go back to you again.
Are you an idiot? If I tell the police, you'll be arrested. Do you know what happens to child kidnappers?
That's okay, because I was with Robbie, and we took her to CPS.
Wait, seriously? Why did you go that far?
Unlike you, I'm not a liar, so I'm telling you the truth. The reason I couldn't take your calls was because I was at a CPS facility. You still have custody of Lucia, right? So, we need to change that for Lucia's sake.
You're the worst! Look what you're doing to me! If I don't have Lucia, I won't get child support.
See? I thought so.
What? Come on! What is it?
Robbie said the reason you wanted Lucia so badly was for the child support. Look, the child support isn't money for you. You need to make a living with your own money, not relying on Robbie. I guess CPS will have a lot of questions for you about Lucia. I'm obviously not a lawyer, so I don't know if you did anything to be punished by the law. But how you treated Lucia shows you're not fit to be a parent.
I don't get it. I thought I could be happy finally. I shouldn't have taken Lucia in.
It's not her fault. It's yours. You ruined her life many times and took advantage of her. You threw her away for your own happiness.
Oscar, do you really hate me now? But you were happy when we were together, right?
Yes, I was. But it was all built on a lie. I can't believe you're trying to get me back after saying you were only marrying me for money just a few minutes ago. Looks like you only think about yourself.
No! I just lashed out because of what was happening. I didn't mean it. Actually, I want to be with you, Oscar. I want to be happy.
I never expected you to be quite this low. But because of that, I can hate you without feeling guilty. If you want to be happy, do it without me. I don't need your superficial love. Although we couldn't forgive what Abby did to Lucia, since letting her go outside and leaving her at her relative's house were only temporary, Abby wasn't punished after the investigation. But she was stripped of Lucia's custody, as well as having a restraining order put on her. I hired a lawyer and charged her for the cancellation of the wedding. I was also compensated for emotional damages on top of the costs of the wedding itself, because it was recognized Abby was at fault. She ended up having to pay it all. It was supposed to be paid in monthly installments. But she stopped paying after a few months. The government called her job to seize her salary. The whole incident seemed to be a topic of gossip for people around Abby. Well, I guess it was to be expected, since the wedding was cancelled. Eventually, Abby's workplace got a call from debt collectors, so she ran away since she couldn't take it anymore. I heard from my lawyer that she kept shoplifting at some sleepy faraway town and was arrested in the end. The payment of the compensation was suspended following her arrest. But after everything that's happened, I don't even want to get involved with her anymore. In the end, she wasn't arrested for Lucia's case, but she found another way to get herself locked up. She'll have a long time to think about what she did now that she's in jail. Lucia and Robbie were finally able to live together, and they are happy now. They were separated for a few years. So he texted me that they went out everywhere on weekends to make up for their lost time together. Unfortunately, my wedding and relationship were all messed up. But after I heard that Lucia was happy, I do think it was right that I believed in her over Abby at the time. And I wouldn't have noticed what Abby was really like if Lucia didn't come to the wedding. If she's in trouble in the future, I hope I can help her. But I don't need to worry about that, because she's with her dad now, right? I'll just wish them both happiness from a distance.
Hey, honey. I have something I want to talk to you about.
Okay, what's up?
Well, I was thinking about starting to work again this spring.
Really? I wasn't expecting you to say that. You don't think my salary is enough to support us?
No, I don't think that at all. You make good money. That's not why I want to work again. I know your job looks after you and they pay you really well. I was just thinking about our family and wanted to save up a little more money for the future. I never want us to have to worry about money. Don't you feel the same?
You're not wrong. Are you sure you wouldn't mind working? We'd have to put Leela in daycare if you find a job. I've heard some places are turning people away because they're full. What would happen if we couldn't find somewhere to bring her?
I've heard that too. But I also heard they give priority to families where both parents are working instead of just one. And actually, I already found my next job.
You did? Where?
The place I used to work before we got married. When I left, I remember they told me, "We'll take you back anytime." When I got in touch with my old boss, he said I could start working part-time. I've already looked into potential daycares and contacted the one I liked the best. They told me they're still accepting new children. If we apply now, we could start bringing her there starting next month.
Wow, that's great. That's the perfect place for you. You know everyone there, and it really seemed like you enjoyed working there. If everything is already settled with daycare, then it would really make me feel better about everything.
Yeah, and if Leela ever needs to go to the doctor, I already know my boss wouldn't mind if I left to go bring her. I'm lucky he's such a nice guy and he's flexible.
That's really so nice of him. Does that one woman still work there? The one you were pretty close with, around the same age as you? What was her name again? Oh yeah, Liz. The one who's in charge of training all the new hires. I remember she really looked after you when you first started working.
Oh yeah, Liz.
You guys were best buds. You always used to go out together. I've met her before, right?
Yeah, we really did a lot together. Camping, going to the beach.
You should have kept in touch with her more after we got married. I hope she's doing well.
I think she still works there. In fact, I heard she got promoted to general manager.
Really? That's awesome.
I know, right? So what do you say? Do you think it's alright if I start working again?
I don't see any reason why not. I guess we're both gonna be working parents now. From now on, I'll try to leave work earlier so I can help out around the house more. I gotta do my part now that you'll be back at work.
Oh, thank you so much! I know you're always so busy, so I appreciate it. I'll still be in charge of cooking like I've always been.
Of course I'd appreciate that, but be careful you don't burn yourself out. Honestly, I wouldn't mind just eating frozen food every night.
No way! We're both gonna need energy from now on, so we gotta eat right. Frozen food just isn't gonna cut it in our house. It's my job to make you food that'll keep you happy and healthy.
I really appreciate that, but I really don't mind every once in a while.
I don't mind doing all the cooking. If we don't take care of our bodies now, it'll come back to bite us once we're older. Speaking of that, I've been a little worried about your health lately. I promise to make you delicious, healthy food from now on.
All right. Really appreciate you going through the trouble of cooking for me. You kept me healthy for this long, and my yearly checkups at the doctor have always been good. I'm lucky to have you as my wife.
You're making me blush. Thank you for all the hard work you do for being such a stellar husband. You mean the world to me. I think I might have forgotten to turn the oven on for the meatloaf. Dinner might be a little late tonight.
No worries. Leela was a real hassle today, huh? From the second she woke up this morning, she wouldn't get dressed or eat anything. She was screaming all morning. She's really right in the middle of the terrible twos.
Oh, definitely. I thought she'd be a little more used to routine since she's been going to daycare.
Don't you think it's a lot of work dropping her off and picking her up every day? I'll take care of it tomorrow.
No, don't worry, I'll do it. You leave for work earlier than me. Plus, I was the one who insisted on going back to work. I knew what I was getting myself into.
But you'll definitely need a hand on days like today. We should really take turns. I know you have a lot on your plate taking care of everything at the house, plus worrying about your job.
Like I said, don't worry about it. It's my responsibility. The only thing I have to look forward to all day is seeing Leela's beautiful face on my way home from work. She's really my pride and joy. Which is why I really want to keep picking her up and dropping her off at daycare.
Really? Well, if that's the case, be my guest. Just let me know if you ever start to feel burnt out. Hey, John, it's been a while. Do you have a minute to talk? Oh. Hey there. How's it going, Liz? How have you been? Oh, not so good. I didn't want to say anything because I was happy to help at first, but I'm reaching my limit. What do you mean? Did something happen?
Stop using me as a daycare center. You expect me to take care of your kid and feed her every day for free? You're both insane if you think that's okay.
Hang on, I don't really understand. Are you saying you've been watching Leela? That's impossible. We've been bringing her to a real daycare for some time now.
Please don't play dumb. You know she's here right now.
Are you being serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. Your wife dropped her off here this morning. Do you know how hard it was to get Leela to stop crying? By the way, I'm working too. I leave her with my mother during the day while I'm not home. To be honest, we don't really have the energy to look after her every day anymore. This is really an inconvenience.
Just hold on a minute. I promise I thought all this time Leela was going to a proper daycare. That's what Jess has been telling me.
So you're telling me you had no idea? Is that even possible? How could you not know this was happening?
From the start, Jess said she was taking care of everything. She said she enrolled Leela in the daycare and she was in charge of dropping her off and picking her up. I guess I know why she was so eager to do everything.
You really didn't know about this? Nothing at all?
Yes, I swear. I can't believe this. I'm really sorry about all of this. I'm in disbelief this could happen without me knowing.
Well, I think you're telling the truth. Sorry for kind of attacking you out of nowhere.
You have every right to be angry at us if that's what's really going on. I hate to seem a bit skeptical, but is Leela really there right now?
Yeah, she is. I'll ask my mom to send a picture if you want.
Are you saying your mother is looking after her?
Yeah, she actually used to work at a daycare. She's pretty good with kids Leela's age.
I see. If you really didn't know, that means Liz orchestrated this whole plan.
Do you think you could talk to her for me? We really can't watch Leela anymore.
Of course I will. I'm sorry about all the trouble.
She really lied and said Leela was enrolled in a real daycare?
Yeah, that's what she told me. She had it all planned out once she said she'd be going back to work at her old job. She said pretty much right away she found a place that still had availability that she could bring Leela.
She said she was going back to work. The only place she ever worked was at our office, right? Which would mean going back to her old job is with us.
Yes, that's right. You still work there too, don't you?
Yeah, I do, but I didn't hear anything about Jess coming back. I haven't seen her here since she quit years ago.
That's not possible. She told me she'd be going back to work there again. She told me she talked with her old boss and everything.
I really hate to break it to you. I think she was lying about that too. If she really did come back to work here, I definitely would have heard about it.
Why would she lie to me about that? I'm sorry, but this is a lot to handle all at once.
I don't blame you. I'm a little shocked myself, to be honest.
I'm gonna try to get a hold of my wife, then I'll be right over to pick up Leela.
Before you go, there's one more thing I wanted to talk to you about. I'm actually not really sure if it's my place to bring this up.
There's more. Yes, please tell me. I want to get the whole truth.
You said Jess takes care of getting and picking up Leela, right? You both must leave the house at different times?
That's right. I leave about an hour before she does.
I see. Well, when Jess comes to drop her off in the morning, she's really dressed up like she's about to hit the town, full makeup and fancy clothes. Definitely not what she'd wear if she was headed to work.
Really? When I leave for work, she doesn't look anything like that.
She's got to be getting ready like that as soon as you walk out the door.
Why would she do that? I already know she's been lying to me, and now you're telling me she looks like she's ready to go out clubbing first thing in the morning? What is she hiding from me?
Like I said, it's not my place to comment about things like this. But maybe it would be a good idea to do a little digging on your wife.
Do you think she's having an affair?
I can't say anything for sure. All I have is my guess, which is as good as anyone's.
Yeah, you're right. I just can't imagine that. I never thought she'd stab me in the back and have an affair. I would never have expected it out of her. She's an angel.
I really hope it's not true. I obviously don't know your wife as much as you, so I can't really say if she's been acting strangely or anything like that. But I will say she hasn't been so pleasant to me with the whole childcare thing. She told me that we should watch Leela for free since my mom used to be a daycare worker. She practically shoves Leela in my face when she comes to drop her off.
Are you serious? How did things come to this? How and when did she start bringing Leela over to you to watch?
It all started when she texted me 2 months ago. It sounded like she suddenly remembered about me.
Oh, that might have been my fault. I brought you up when we were talking about her going back to her old job. Sorry about that.
Don't worry about it. She said something suddenly came up and she needed someone to watch her daughter. At first I told her it would be no problem, but I had no idea it would turn into me watching her every single day. If I tried to refuse, she'd scream things like, "Do you expect me to leave my little daughter out on the street?" or "Don't be lazy." The neighbors heard her. I was so embarrassed, so I couldn't say no to her. I've honestly never met someone as pushy as her.
Why would she treat you like that? I thought you guys used to be really close.
I mean, we were as close as we could be as co-workers, so we hung out sometimes outside of work. Once you two started dating, I couldn't stand hearing her brag all the time. That's why I stopped talking to her.
What do you mean brag? What did she used to say?
She was always the type to toot her own horn. She used to say things like, "My boyfriend does such a good job, you have no idea how much money he makes. Once we get married, I'm gonna live a luxurious life that people only dream of." She'd always say things like that to look down on other people. It was exhausting to be around her, so I tried to keep my distance.
So that's why you two lost touch.
I really think you need to look into her. I don't think she's the woman you think she is. You should find out her true colors.
Jess, where are you right now?
I'm at work. Why?
I got out of work early today. I was thinking I'd go pick up Leela today.
No, it's fine. I'm going to do it. That's my responsibility, remember? It's totally fine.
Well, too late. I'm already here.
What? You're at the daycare center.
That's right.
Why are you there? Go home right now. Just don't worry about it and let me do it.
Why are you being like that? Something's off. Is there something wrong with me coming to pick her up?
No, but I just promised that I'd be the one to get her every day.
Well, I'm already here. Leela didn't expect me to pick her up, so she's super happy.
You're really with her right now? How?
Because the daycare center I'm at is Liz's house.
How is that possible? Why are you there?
She told me everything. You lied to me, didn't you? About bringing Leela to daycare and going back to your old job? You tricked me and you've been bringing Leela to Liz's house? If you haven't been at work this whole time, where were you?
You must not get what she meant. I only dropped her off there today. Usually I bring her to her normal daycare.
Alright, prove to me she goes there. If there is actually any proof that you can show me that she's really enrolled there.
Okay, she actually doesn't really go there. They denied our application. I just thought if I didn't say I had a daycare lined up, you wouldn't let me go back to work. I'm really sorry I lied to you.
Ah, right, work. Before I picked up Leela, I swung by the house and took a look through your stuff. I found a receipt for a hotel room in your jacket pocket. Explain to me why you'd have a hotel receipt.
What do you mean? I have no idea about that. I probably just accidentally took someone else's receipt or something.
How would that even happen? Who picks up someone else's receipt by accident? I'll be checking your credit card statement to see if that's true or not.
Actually, I lost my card a while back. Someone probably found it and used it at that hotel.
That doesn't make sense. Someone stole your card, used it at a hotel, and you miraculously found that receipt. Plus, I literally just saw you using it yesterday. You lied about the daycare. You lied about working. You leave the house every day looking like you're about to go to a nightclub? There's no way you're going to work looking like that. What were you doing at that hotel?
I wasn't doing anything. I just stayed there with one of my girlfriends.
I really thought you were a respectable woman. I was totally wrong. Liz told me all about you. Your mom used to work in a daycare, so she should be happy to watch Leela. Why would I need to pay you? How could you say that to her? That's so obnoxious. I've been working myself half to death, but I knew I had no choice because I had to support our family. By the way, I checked our bank account. I almost had a heart attack when I saw our savings was nearly cut in half. You think you can spend all the money I've worked so hard for? Are you planning to abandon your family and start a new life with your new man? You're a miserable, horrible person.
Don't talk to me like that. I've always been a good wife to you. Why are you overreacting just because I was with another guy? Just look past it.
So you admitted you had an affair. I'm taking screenshots of this whole conversation. This will be all the evidence I need if we go to court after this.
What do you mean court? Does that mean you want to get a divorce?
That should be obvious at this point. You think I just forgive you and move on?
No, we are absolutely not getting a divorce. I love you, John.
You don't love me. You just love my money. Don't worry. You know you're getting half of it when we split up.
Really?
Sure, but after that I'm going to sue you for having an affair. I don't think there will be much left after you lose that case.
So what's the point of even giving me any money? Why did you make me think I'd be getting anything?
I really have to thank Liz for opening my eyes to who you really are. Let's just make this a clean break. Goodbye forever, you useless liar. After that, Jess moved out of the house. I sent over the divorce papers so we could get things started. I bet she never thought she'd have to be on her own without my salary to mooch off of. She tried her best to apologize, but I just ignored her. I explained everything that happened to her parents, too. They were shocked and had no problem with us getting divorced over it. I'm not out of the tunnel yet, but I can see the light at the other side. It's gonna cost a lot of time and money, but I feel it's the right decision. After lying about working at her old job, I heard Jess actually went back there to try and work there again. Liz put a stop to that real quick. I heard now she's somewhere making minimum wage, living from paycheck to paycheck. Now I'm a single father and I'm bringing Leela to a real daycare. It's a lot of work, but I'll do whatever I can for my little girl. Liz actually came by to apologize. She felt guilty for everything that happened after she told me about Jess. I told her she was a saint and really made things turn out for the best. She thanked me for being so open-minded about everything that happened. She even said she wouldn't mind watching Leela from time to time. I can't remember the last time I talked with a truly kind soul like her.